Hi, so welcome to class today. So we are doing a little bit of a post-run yoga stretch class today. So this is going to be perfect if you've been for a run or if you've been lifting a little bit, but I will put this as a caveat. You must have some yoga experience. This class is not for beginners, so you must have some understanding of some of the basic poses that we do in yoga. It is a little bit of a yin style dynamic flow, so we will be moving with the breath and also holding some of these poses as well, so holding some of the asana. So it's really important that you listen to your body throughout this practice. If anything doesn't feel right, please modify. Make sure that you are really paying attention, because with this particular practice, we don't want to overstretch or overwork the muscles. We want to reach a stage where we feel sensation, but it's not hurting us. So if anything does feel uncomfortable for your body, then just lie down on your back. You can skip that pose, or you can modify as you need to. So I will guide you through the practice, but as I said, you will definitely need a little bit of yoga experience. And that being said, what you're going to need for class today is obviously just your yoga mat and a pillow. So make sure that you've got a pillow to hand, and then we will begin. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to actually start off with a toe stretch. As the feet get pretty tight when we run, so what I want you to do is you're going to come forward, you're going to curl your toes under and try to get the pinky toes involved in this as well, and then start to edge the bum back towards the heels, all right? And you can keep the hands down here. You can make fists with the hands as well, especially if you're quite tender around your wrists. But other than that, we're just going to pretty much stay here or begin to walk the hands back and sit a little bit more weight back into the feet. All right, so our first asana of the day, we're just going to hold here, just focusing on the breath. So you will feel this shape begin to intensify with a little bit of time, but we're not going to be here for too long. So just breathe in steady, in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, in through the nose and out through the nose. Two more like that, drawing the breath in. And exhaling nice and long. One more time. Okay, edge your way forward, back onto the hands and curl your toes. Tap the tops of your feet lightly into the mat. And now we're going to come into ankle stretch. So ankle stretch for you may be just sitting back onto the heels, but if you have a little bit more space around the ankles, you're going to bring the hands back and begin to just edge the weight back, lifting the knees. You can use a pillow underneath your knees at this stage, just to anchor the knees into place. And again, if it feels uncomfortable, then just come and sit down onto the heels, or you can just skip this pose if it doesn't feel good. But just breathe in. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. Last one. Now just taking the proper weight if you've used it and starting to edge forward again onto your hands. This time coming into some simple cat-cow, knees directly below the hips, hands directly below the shoulders. Take an inhale breath as you drop the belly down, pull the shoulders back, lengthen through the whole front body, but don't compress into the back of the neck. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone under around the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. And again, inhale. Dropping the belly down, arms are straight. Exhale. Three more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale back through to neutral with your spine. We're going to go straight into taking the left leg forward, foot in between the hands, coming into a dragon pose. So what I want you to do and think about when you're here in dragon is I want you to pull the hips so the hips are square to the top edge of your mat. Don't let yourself sink so deep that that right hip is sort of pulling back and swaying back. Pull in through the very center of the midline body and then allow yourself to sink forward. So what you'll feel is a bit of compression around the left hip and hopefully a bit of stretch around that right front hip flexor. And you can interlace the fingers, just press the knee away, keep the shoulders back. And just breathe in here. One more breath. Okay, bring the hands back down onto the mat, moving dynamically as you pull the hips back. You're going to flex your left toes back towards your face. And then inhale, pull it forward again. Exhale, you're going to pull it back, maybe a little bit longer through the spine, pulling the left toes back. Each time going a little deeper than you did before. Inhale, back forward into that dragon. Exhale, pull it all the way back. Inhale, scoot it forward. And exhale, pull it back. Okay, inhale, pull it forward again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come into almost a dragon split variation, but we're going to use the left leg. So we're going to inhale, pull it up. So the upper body is up. You're going to bend the right knee, take a hold of the foot. Okay, if you can't get a hold of the foot, you can use a strap. Or if it's too intense for you, then you can keep the leg down. But otherwise, we're going to pull the hip bones in, pull the bum back slightly, and then start to draw the heel towards the buttocks. And you might find that you can sink a little deeper. Be very mindful of that right knee. If you need support or a cushion underneath it, then use a cushion. And again, just breathe in. We're going to hold for 3. You're going to feel this down that front right quadricep. 2. And 1, releasing the leg off. Okay, pull yourself back again into that dragon split. Now activate through the quadricep as you start to pull the left toes back. And when you're here, keep the spine nice and long. So resist the temptation to tuck in. You want to feel that your tailbone is reaching towards the back edge of the mat and the crown of the head is reaching forward. So that's going to just really start to increase that stretch in the hamstring. And we're keeping the quadricep engaged just to see if we can release a little more into the hamstring. And then we're going to head towards a dragon split, so a full split. So if that is just not going to be available for you, you can uncurl the back toes, sit the bum down, relax that left leg now, lift the chest up, and then start to edge your way over the left leg. Okay, so that might be your dragon split. Another variation that we're going to try today is to work towards a full split. And you can use a cushion and a prop underneath the legs, okay, just to give you a little bit of leverage. It doesn't need to be a full split unless you've got that within your practice or you're working towards it. Now, the back toes, so the right toes are still curled under because we're trying to drop the right hip down and forward. We don't want to open it out, we want to drop it forward and then lift the spine up and out of the lower back, okay? So you want the sensation of lift as opposed to the sensation of compression in the lower back. We're going to hold here and breathe. Now, to begin with, you might even have the quadricep engaged. Okay, so if you engage the quadricep, you might find a little bit more space in the hamstring, and then you can see if you can relax into it. Now from this place, I want you to uncurl the back toes now, because hopefully you would have got a little bit of leverage of the right hip dropping down and forward. And we can see if we can start to walk the hands forward and come into that full split with the upper body forward and just hold in here and breathe in. And remembering that you are working with your own depth. So don't think that just because I'm here that it's going to work for your body. You are finding your place where you can stay and not feel too much of a stretch. You want to feel a stretch, absolutely, but we don't want to pull the muscles or tear the muscles. Okay, one more breath here. Now inhale, begin to pull the upper body up, curl the back toes under again. When you do that, start to press into the hands. You can start to pull and drag the left foot back, come back into your lunge, take your proper way. Hip bones pull in. Breathe here. And that should feel a little bit easier than it did the first time round. And then hands are going to come down. We're going to step back into down dog. And then we're going to move straight to the other side. So here we go. Right leg is going to step forward and through. And we're coming into that dragon split. Or dragon lunge. Interlace the fingers, press the upper body up, pull the hip bones in. Okay, so hip bones pull in. And again, maybe even feeling a bit of compression around that right hip. A little bit of length through the left front hip flexor. So you know where we're going now. We've done this on that left side. And now we're going to move back into that dynamic hamstring stretch. So begin to curl the back toes under, pull the right leg back, hips pull back, right foot pulls back, engaging through the quadricep of the right leg, and then pulling it forward back into dragon. And again, pulling it all the way back. Each time going a little bit deeper, exhale forward. Inhale, pull back. And exhale, pull forward. And then again, inhale, pull it back. Keep flexing the right toes back towards your face. You will feel that toe stretch on that back left leg as well, that back left foot. And then pull it forward again. Okay, so here we go. Pull the hip bones in, upper body pulls back. We're going to take a hold of the left foot. Okay, as you pull the bum back, you pull the heel towards the buttocks and then see if you can sink a little deeper into that shape. So hold in here, breathe and steady. For 3. 2. And 1. Exhale, release the leg off. And again, you can pull the hips back and come into your hamstring stretch or split in this position. Or again, you're going to start to work a little deeper into it, keeping the back toes curled under to get that left hip forward. Use your prop. You can place it underneath and just finding that length through the right hamstring as well as the length through that left hip, because we want to try to keep that hip forward, lift the upper body out of the spine so you're not compressing into the lower back. Keep that right activation of the glute, not the glute, the quadricep. Hold it there. And then see if you can relax yourself into it. So uncurl the back toes now, release the quadricep. Keep the spine lifted for a moment. See if you can find some space. Breathe steady. And then we're going to start to sink ourselves forward. If you've got that in you, then you can start to edge forward. And again, breathe. Again, it is going to exacerbate what you are feeling on the right hamstring. So only go as far as feels good for your body. And then slowly starting to ease your way back up. And again, curl the back toes under, pull yourself out of that shape. And then back into your dragon. Take your prop away. And just breathe here for a moment. It should feel a little easier around the hips. Okay, hands are going to come down. We're going to step it back, find down dog. Shake your head out, get rid of any tension in your face, in your neck. And just start to pedal your legs. As you do that, sway your hips side to side so that you get into the side body. So we're going to move into this quadratus lumborum stretch. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of different options on how to do it. You're going to use the one that works best for your body. But first of all, we're going to take a little hop and jump through. Okay, so you're going to look forward towards the top edge of your mat. You're going to rise up to your tiptoes, so your feet are together. Exhale, you're going to bend your knees and crouch like a lion. Keep looking forward. It's almost like you want to pounce on your prey here. And then we're going to jump forward, cross the legs, and then straighten the legs off and sit down. Okay, so we're going to come into our QL stretch. So I'm actually going to turn around and face you. And what I want you to do is you're going to take the right leg back behind you and then bring the left leg out to the side. So this is like a gate pose, and we do this in Ashtanga in second series, but it's a really great stretch for the side body and the QL, which can get quite tight. Now, if this isn't accessible for you, you can take the foot into a half butterfly, so the right leg, sorry, into a half butterfly shape and come into it in that direction. Otherwise, you're going to keep the heel back towards the buttocks. Now you're going to turn your chest to face the right knee, and then we're going to start to drop the upper body down. So left shoulder's reaching for the left knee. You might want to use your hand here. Now, what I don't want you to do is round yourself forward. So bring yourself up as high as you need to be to keep your chest open to get that stretch down the right side of the body. So into the obliques, into the QL. Okay, so we're going to start to drop and open the chest out. You can relax your head. Then additionally to this, we can really start to even exaggerate that stretch even more, but only if it feels okay. And we're going to bring the right arm up and over. Now, you can let the arm just dangle over the head and use that left hand as support. Now relax the legs as much as you can and really focus on the turn of the upper body. So we're opening the upper body. Okay, we're breathing here. I'm going to hold for 3 more breaths. Two more breaths. And then inhale, pull yourself all the way back up. And then we're going to release the right leg off. And then release the left leg off. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So left leg is going to go back or into half butterfly. Right leg is going to go out to the side. And again, we're turning the chest open towards that left leg, and we're starting to drop the right shoulder down towards the right knee. You can relax the legs as much as feels comfortable for you. If you need a little bit of activation to keep the support, then you can allow that to happen. You might notice your glutes start to switch on, especially that right glute as you start to lean over. And this is just really to support the lower back, so you might feel that activation. But just make sure it's not pinching into your back. And then as we edge a little deeper, maybe even using the hand to support the head, and inhale, left arm is going to go up and over. Remember that that's an option, but turn your chest open, so your chest remains open. Again, breathing steady. And 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And then inhale, pull it all the way back up. And then exhale, releasing the legs out of position. And then from here, we're going to cross the feet at the ankles, cross the legs at the shins. You're going to tuck the heels towards the buttocks, roll over your knees, step or jump yourself back, find yourself back into downward facing dog. And then just begin to drop down to your knees. Now, I want you to keep the length through your lower portion of your back as you walk the hands forward. And we're going to start to drop the chest down into melting heart. Now you can have the forehead on the floor, or you can have the chin on the floor. The chest is dropping. We're going to hold another 5 breaths here. And press into the hands, lift the upper body up, scoot the hips forward. Now keeping the hands exactly where they are, keep the arms straight, and we're just going to come into seal pose. And just one more breath. And exhale to lower the upper body down. Now bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Pull the elbows close to the body. Press firm into your feet. And I want you to get the sensation that your hip bones are pulling forward into the mat. So the top of the hip bones. You're going to take an inhale breath, lift the chest up. Try to straighten the arms as much as feels comfortable for you, keeping the elbows reaching back, chest is pulling forward. And then exhale to lower. We're going to do this 4 more times. Inhale to lift. Head is the last thing to go up and back. Exhale to lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, curl your toes under. You're going to separate your knees and take your bum back towards your heels and let yourself sink into a wide leg child's pose. Forehead is supported with the back of the hands, so elbows are bent. And 2 more breaths here. Okay, inhale, beginning to lift the head. Now, keeping down on the elbows, we are starting to come into the inner thighs. Okay, so we're going to edge the bum forward and we're going to let the knees just take a little bit of a wider stance, and then we can take the feet out in line with the knees as we come into frog pose. And this can feel pretty intense, okay? So we're not going to be here for too long. If you need to use a pillow or a prop, you can place it underneath your belly, even in between your legs, between your legs and the floor. And again, 2 more breaths here. Okay, just begin to edge the hips slightly forward, bring your feet together. Okay, so feet must come together. And then you're going to start to edge the upper body back. And then pull the inner thighs in, so the knees draw in. Okay, so we're going to move into some dynamic pigeon. So we're going to bring the left foot to the right edge of the mat. Okay, now the knee is going to move towards that left edge. So we're going to use the hands and we're going to start to edge the left knee over, dropping the hips down and then pulling back. Now keep the left foot flexed, okay, to protect the knee. So inhale here, pull the hips back, exhale, the knee drops. And you're going to feel this around that IT band, around the glute. Pull back again and exhale, drop. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, pull back and exhale. Left knee drops, and we start to curl the back toes under, edge that right leg back, and we're coming into this full pigeon pose. So what you might need is a pillow underneath your left buttocks. Okay, now you want to keep that left knee protected, so if there's any pain in the knee, take the heel further back towards your groin. If you have sciatica and this pose exaggerates that, then you can skip this pose altogether, or you can take the foot all the way back and then come forward and just treat it like a really relaxing, restorative shape. But if you're doing this along with me and you want to kind of, there's no issues with the knee and you can work here, then first of all, we're just going to lift the upper body up, keep the chest lifted, drop the right hip down and forward, much like we did with our split. And you want to keep this compression or too much compression out of the lower back. So keep lifting the chest up, much like a pigeon does, right? Pigeon is lifting its chest, shoulders are down the back. We're just going to hold for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to move it in towards a twist. So we're going to get that left elbow to the outside, or to the outside of the left foot. My lefts and rights today. So left elbow to left foot, press the palms together, and then turn the chest open to the right. And again, just breathe in. Hold in here, relax your head, don't take it into your neck. We're going to take 2 more breaths. And then inhale through the center. And then exhale, you're going to start to fold yourself over that left leg. Letting the hips and the pelvis become nice and heavy now. Letting the legs relax, upper body relaxed. And then inhale, pull it all the way up. Press into the hands, edge yourself back into down dog. Shift your cushion over to that right side if you used it underneath you to support the pose. And then step the right foot forward to the left edge of the mat, flex the toes back towards your face, drop down the left knee, pull the hips back, inhale. Exhale, right knee falls to the right edge of the mat. And again, inhale, pull it back. Exhale, drop it forward. And one more time, inhale, pull it back. Exhale, drop it forward. And again, using that support, edge that left leg back a little bit more if you've got the space to do that. And then left hip is dropping down and forward, lifting the chest up, puffing the chest up. You're supporting underneath the right hip, especially if you need it. Remember, you can pull the heel back towards the groin if it's too intense. And then moving into the twist. So right elbow outside of the foot, and then turning the chest open towards that left side. Breathing steady, nice and relaxed with the head. So just remembering that some of the poses are yin-like, others are more dynamic. Three more breaths. And then ease your way back through the center. Again, lift the chest up. And then exhale, begin to allow yourself to fold over that right leg into sleeping pigeon. And again here we're just letting the hips settle and drop. Releasing some of that more dynamic movement. And just see if you can soften around your face and soften around the jaw. Take any expectation for practice away from the body. Just let it be exactly as it is today. And then here we go, inhale, pull it out. And back into downward facing dog. Move and pedal your legs again, sway your hips. Put your prop to the side. And then again, you're going to rise up to your tiptoes, look forward. As you exhale, pull the hips back. Inhale, jump, and sit down. Okay, from here, we're going to lie down onto our back. We're going to take the feet as wide as the mat. Okay, so the feet are as wide as the mat here. And then we're going to just let the knees just fall side to side for windshield wipers. So just ease in the legs side to side. And then pull them back through the center. And what I want you to do is take the left foot. And so as you roll over to that right side, you're going to place the top of the left foot towards the buttocks and then roll back onto that left hip. So you're going to get a stretch in that front left quad. Okay, if that doesn't work for you, it just feels too intense, you're just going to hold your windshield wiper over to the right. Okay, otherwise you're going to place the right foot on top of the left knee to draw the knee down, and just breathe here. And then take 2 more breaths. And then release the right leg off. And then we're going to take that left leg out. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So now we're going to shift the knees over to the left, take a hold of the right foot, heel up towards the buttocks, and then sink back down onto that right hip. So again, feeling that through the right front quad, and you can place the left foot up and over on top. It's going to exaggerate that pull, right? So just be very mindful, or come into windshield wipers if this is too intense. Again, just breathe in. We're just going to hold here. And again, 2 more breaths. And then releasing out of that shape. Okay, now taking your feet again as wide as your mat. I want you to press down through the inner seams of your feet. So root down through your big toe, root down through the inner side of the foot. And then you're going to start to just lift the hips up for a moment. When you're doing this, have the sensation that the inner thighs are pulling in, but make sure it does not impact your knees. If it does, take the feet a little closer together, but keep rooting down through the big toe and the inner seam of the foot. And then exhale to lower. Okay, we're going to inhale again, lift. And then exhale to lower. One more time, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Now you can continue with that movement, or if you're going to move to the next stage, you're going to bring the hands by the ears and you're going to press to the top of the head. Now keeping the elbows pulling in, you're then going to see if you can press all the way up into a full Urdhva Dhanurasana, full bridge pose, okay? And we're going to hold that bridge pose for 5 breaths. Again, really keeping active through the base of the big toe, the inner seam of the foot, trying to pull everything into that midline, even as we press the hips up. Okay, we're going to start to see if we can straighten the legs off when we're there. Just a little bit at a time. Pay attention to what feels good for your body. Do not squeeze your back muscles. Instead, be super active with your legs and keep pressing down through that inner seam of the foot. Okay, so here we go. So from here, beginning to press down, lift the hips, hands by the ears. Okay, we're going to lift up top of the head. Okay, elbows keep pulling in, keep pressing down through the base of the big toe. Begin to lift the upper body up. Okay, relax your head and breathe. We're going to hold, keep pulling in through that midline of the body as the hips lift up for 3, 4, and 5. Okay, tucking the chin in, ease your way back down. And then relax. Okay, so the knees just knock in and you're just breathing, just nice and steady. So the next time we do that, we're going to start to work on a bit of upper body strength, but also the flexibility through the upper body by coming into some tricep dips in our back bend. So again, just do what works for you, what feels good for you. If just keeping it simple with a bridge is absolutely fine as well, so you can do that too. Otherwise, coming to the top of the head, elbows stay in there and breathe in, or pressing up and seeing if you can come into a few tricep dips. We're going to do 5 today. If that's not accessible to you or it doesn't feel good for your body, then just do as many as feels comfortable for you. Okay, so here we go. So press down again through the inner seam of the foot, press down through the big toe. Inhale, lifting the hips up. Exhale, hands by the ears. Inhale, rise to the top of the head. Elbows pull in. When you're ready, next breath, inhale, press up. Exhale, just relax into position. And then inhale here. Exhale, you're going to bend the elbows, top of the head dip for 1. Inhale up. Exhale, dip for 2. Inhale up. Exhale, dip for 3. Inhale up. Exhale, dip for 4. Inhale up. Exhale, dip for 5. Inhale up. We're going to see if we can hold this up. Breathe steady, relax the head for 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, and 1. Exhale, tuck the chin in, ease yourself all the way back down. And let the knees knock in, hands rest on the belly, and just stay in here. Okay, so I want you to just begin to hug the knees in close towards the body. And then you're going to straighten the arms off, keeping the hands on the knees. And then we're going to just start to circle the knees round to the right. Moving round clockwise 3 times. Nice and steady and slow, just massaging around the sacrum. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, taking the knees round to the left. And then on an inhalation, hug the knees in. Exhale. Press the knees away. Inhale, knees pull in. Exhale, knees away. One more. Inhale, big hug of the legs in. And then exhale, release the feet down. Taking the feet again as wide as your mat. And just coming back into windshield wipers. So just this time taking the arms wide like a cactus. And we're going to move the head in the opposite direction of the legs. So taking the legs to the right and the head to the left. And just rolling through that. Knees to the left, head to the right. And inhale back through. Exhale. Inhale back through. Exhale. Now we're going to inhale, holding the knees to the right, head to the left, and just staying here, just breathing, nice and steady, relaxing the whole body now. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. Knees to the left, gaze to the right. And then coming back through to center. And just take the legs up, the arms up, shake it out. And then just relax the whole of the body down into Shavasana, into rest. Taking the legs as wide as the mat, arms away from the body, palms face up. Eyes can begin to close down if you feel comfortable. And just scanning through the whole of the body, starting from the crown of the head, releasing the face and the neck, the jaw and the tongue, the shoulders, the whole of the spine, the legs, all the way down into the soles of the feet and the toes, all the way down the arms into the tips of the fingers, the palms of the hands, the whole of the body. Just taking a moment here to just really relax and let go. If you have any comments or questions about what you did today, let me know. Leave a comment for me. If there's anything that you're struggling with, again, let me know, as I would love to help you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall see you again next Sunday.